Okay, we'll give it the inevitable probably 2.5 minutes before, for whatever reason, my internet goes, no, wait, don't do this. And it will kill OBS for like 30 seconds, and then I'll have to restart the stream. Last time, not only did it kill OBS, it killed my WoW. So that almost could kill me. So we're gonna wait and see if this bitrate stays steady. We can stay in the inn, we can run around, we can look at stuff in the inn. That's cool. For example, this fine young gentleman here, Ratslin. I wonder what name they were going for there. Maybe Racelin? I know what I need to do. I need to add a Chrome source to this. Yeah, so check out the music. This is Sam Park on Spotify. This is a guy I work with. He's a good dude. There we go. Racelin. Now what I want to do is I want a hotkey so that whenever I want you guys to see what's on Chrome, what do you mean the one key doesn't work? There we go. No, I could do this. Da, 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 da. Alright, cool. Looks like it's holding good, so yeah. Welcome to the stream. WoW Hardcore. Sam Park on the radio. On Spotify. And me on a level 10 mage. Try not to die. And talking about MMOs. And talking about games. So I'm going to take a look at my inventory. I have a bow here that bow might sell. Wow, the disenchant value right there is showing me is 1.5 gold. I have not scanned the auction house on this character. At least on the horde side to see if, like, is it worth disenchanting this? It's definitely not worth vendoring. 2 silver, that's junk. That's no money at all for that. What I'm wondering is if I disenchant it, would I get enough? Well, I get 1.5 lesser magic, so potentially maybe 2. I need a wand. And not just any wand. I need the wand that you get from enchanters. So I'm going to run up to Undercity. Undercity's scary to me still because... Not still. It's scary to me and always will be because if you fall in the elevator, you're done. You're done, just like all these people. These people are done. The highest level one I see is a 27 orc shaman died to a cloud serpent and 1,000 needles. I'm gonna go ahead and say it though. The servers are already looking much less populated. Like I give this a month. Which that's okay because if they come out with WoW Classic Season of Mastery 2, then I'll have something to do there. And we'll start that. Or I can go back to EverQuest. Either or. So yeah, those of you out in Streamland, let me know how the audio sounds. Let me know how the music sounds in relation to the microphone. Actually, I'm going to turn Spotify down for you guys a little bit. There's a reason for that, okay? And the reason is, if you want to listen to your own music, it should be quiet enough that it doesn't completely interfere with it. Could also go no music. Angry Man's the Undead Warlock has been slain by a Windshear Stonecutter at level 24. That would be a harpy. His last words were "Yee." Yee. That's the part I'm talking about. Like didn't have my wits about me when I ran in here. I'm just kind of focused on this, so I need to be careful. Underworld Band. I got this once when I was playing actual vanilla WoW. I found it in the cave. Let's see, did it show up? Yeah. I found that in the cave south of the Alliance town in Faralos. This is the only green I've gotten on Horde side so far. So we're gonna do a little market research here. Hunting bow. 15 silver. Okay. I can potentially disenchant it into... We'll just say I get unlucky. I get one lesser magic essence. One of those is 5 silver, and then I get one strange dust. One of those is 1 silver. So based on that, I really should not disenchant. Oh. I'm going to do 2 things. Potentially 1 thing. Oh, lesser magic wand is 5 silver. So like, not every, that's very affordable. That's level 5. What are wands looking like on here? A fire wand is 8.7 DPS. This one's 11.3. There's a lot of fire wands for sale. There's a lot of lesser magic wands for sale. Clearly, I don't want any of the... Well, I might want the lesser, but I don't want the fire wand. And then the next highest wand is a level 12 wand for 10 silver. And I'm almost level 12. But do I really want to pay 5 extra silver for 1.4 more DPS? Times are tough. Times are tough, stream. I'm taking the 5 silver wand. That's it. Auction expired. My meaty batwing expired. What a shame. Let's go ahead and auction this, actually. I should have done that while I was down there. I do have a few things to auction. First thing is the hunting bow. Not leaving that at a low bid. That's a 1 silver investment, so it's a little risky, but 14 silver for that bow is not terrible, but I'm gonna just like mark it way down. I just want my money. I think we'll sell it for 12. Malachite might be a vendor. Yep, that's a vendor. Okay, then we got stringy wolf meats. These are potentially a vendor, no? So we're gonna sell 10 of you times 1 stack. It's not pulling the data over. Need you to pull the data over. Maybe I have to hit refresh. There we go. And these don't even incur like a posting cost, so that's good. Meaty bat wings. These are 11 copper a piece. If I vendor them, how much are they? There's 16 total, so times are tough. I'm gonna go ahead and vendor those, or not vendor, but auction those. This I bought on the from a vendor, and it looks like I can potentially turn a little bit of a profit here. Bought it for 2 silver. Don't want to hang on to it. I can make myself a 2 spirit vest. I think it'll be okay. That's fine. I don't know if anybody will buy it. Oops, I already did them. Okay, let's see. Bandages. Dude, bandages. What are they? 20 of them go for... That's definitely a vendor. No way. Stacks of 20 are going for like 3 silver. Just sell it for 2 silver. I don't know what to do with those, so we're gonna move on. What's going on? Is there like a mock garage going on? Ah. Hope everybody's having a great Thursday. I did my usual routine, work out, come home. A little bit of streaming tonight. Once I get out here, I'll look at my map and I'll see where to head to next. I'm a big proponent of overleveling the areas. I go slow. Who's Rage Fire Man? He's giving away gold. Level 13 warrior and Orgrimmar. Okay. I don't know how he has a gold. He must have a higher level character. Oh shoot, I should have handed those in, but that's okay. Family Crypt is too high. New Plague. Proof of Demise, I can do that over here. Or I can do Proof of Demise over here. As well as Rear Guard Patrol. So we'll head out and we'll go to the right. And when I say the servers are looking less inhabited, that's not saying that it's just completely dead. It's just definitely looking a little bit quieter. And I will be honestly surprised if anybody pops in here tonight. Because I am just that guy with one viewer at the very bottom of a whole lot of WoW streams. That's okay. Ooh, my auctions of stringy. I know you can't see it. I'm blocking the chat for a reason. Because I don't want you all to have to be exposed to some of the degeneracy that I see here. But my auctions of stringy wolf meat all sold. I really like these lamps, like the gothic looking lamps outside of the Undercity. Rather than sit here and cast, I'm gonna build up my skills of defense. It's like I'm sitting at 43 of 50, and that's an important skill to have maxed out. Like I said, slow and steady. It's a level 9 Dusk Bat. But here, this is the quest mobs I'm actually here to kill. I don't like that this guy is kind of creeping up behind me, though. Really need to watch out, because they do get damage to me. Ooh, I haven't summoned any water or any food. I really feel like hardcore is a test of patience. So we have bleeding horrors here to kill. They're level 10. Defense just leveled. Nice. 6 more of those and I'll be in there. You can see, I mean, he's knocked me down halfway. Watch out for that Dusk Bat. Skyless Raven, welcome back. Totally forgot to link you the Ashes of Creation video. Yeah, go ahead and send it to me. I'll take a look at it. Probably watch it while I'm cooking breakfast tomorrow. Always watching for an exit strategy here. I want to make sure that I have room. Ooh, my auction of the hunting bow sold. I want to make sure that I have room to run if I need to. Somebody is really burning through these. Excuse me, that's okay. It's like he tried to poison me. Did I resist it? 11 copper from one mob really isn't that bad, considering how broke I am. What is this? Wandering Spirit. He's a level 10. The music you're hearing, this is actually a guy that I work with. Let's see. It's a little bit. Do I need to make it smaller? There we go. Bonus track. Whispered it on Twitch, so there you go. Thank you. Now the true challenge will be when I wake up in the morning and I'm groggy, am I going to remember to watch it? Hopefully I do. If not, I'll watch it. We can watch it on stream together. How about that? Ooh, what's this? Attributes reduced by 5%. Hopefully Thursday is treating you well. So the mage preview being that's what you're playing now. My taste in MMO classes is really really wide. It's really broad. I definitely like something that feels engaging with the buttons that you have. Mage probably isn't the most preferred class for me. At least in WoW, it's Hunter because I like to control the pet. I actually map my pet attack and come back and stay. I map those to like different keys so that I'm like constantly like adjusting the pet when I'm in something difficult. When I was, oh shoot, they're starting to respawn out here. Ooh, cleric. I would like to do cleric actually. I've always had a soft spot for clerics. If they follow kind of the traditional D&D style of cleric where they can equip, what is it, up to like chain armor and they do a little bit of melee. I like that actually. It's kind of a bummer WoW doesn't really have that. I mean, they have the paladin, but I feel like paladin's still a little bit more melee than spell focused. I really enjoy the EverQuest cleric in the Plains of Power expansion. Ashes, you can equip any armor and weapon. Wow. So I could be like a dual wielding battle cleric, and that sounds fun. Oh, good. I got another defense level. And can I eat these? Oh, I can eat them. Delicious, dead, rotting flesh. Yeah, send me the cleric link. I mean, I can probably look it up too. One game that I thought had a really fun cleric was Dungeons and Dragons Online. And then obviously EverQuest and the Plains of Power, they're a lot of fun. Earlier before that, they're a little bit more one-trick pony. But in PoP they got oh shoot. In PoP they get the hammer spell, so you can summon like a hammer pet. I think they always get root. There's a lot you can do on a cleric. It doesn't. Oh, they got like some melee buffs, so you're actually like able to melee on them. Nothing is respawned in here as of right now. Just need to watch out for that. getting out of here could be kind of dicey if things start respawning. So over here, there's a shaman just like going ham on these things. Shamans are one of those class in hardcore and classic WoW period where they start out really strong, and then as they level, they actually get weaker. It's not. That's one of the reasons why I actually don't like the shaman as much. And they're definitely like they feel very one trick. You know, you just, especially as elemental, you're just doing chain lightning, regular lightning. You have to be careful about your totems because your totems can pull things. You can't just like desummon your totems, I don't think, instantly. Another thing I could do here is I can jump over the fence and abuse the pathing like this. And now he's got to come around. I can jump over here, now he's got to come around again. There's another pattern. That's a red linen vest. Weapons and armor are not class locked, but certain classes are more efficient with certain types of weapons or armor. Yeah, the more you describe it, the more fun this sounds. I like customization. One of these days I'll get around to finishing Elden Ring. Elden Ring has a lot of customization. I have a cleric type character on there, actually. He's a confessor. I named him Confessor Oak, and I even made his face look just like Professor Oak from Pokemon. Thought that was. I like to do funny things like that. I didn't really go with any unique naming convention on this character. Normally, I like to do funny names. The names will actually make me more attached to the character and will help me to kind of stick it out when I don't feel like playing them anymore. For some reason, that just works for me mentally. So yeah, the path to the road is pretty congested now, so I need to be very careful. What happened there? What is that? Rancid blood hits for 11 shadow. Okay. Ooh, my summon water is now giving me 4 waters. That's nice. This is the last wandering spirit that I need. Ordinarily, mages will Frost Nova here and they will run away, but I need my defensive skills nice and capped. Oh, this guy is giving me problems. I'm gonna kill him right now. Oof. It's down to 78 health there. I can eat ghosts. That is a ghost I'm eating. It's going to either be a successful game or go down in history as another disappointment. Yeah, but you know, you never get the fun if you don't try. And same for the developers. Like you never get the mega success just sticking with what you know will work for a little, you know, small player base. Like some games also tend to kind of balloon in popularity over time, where they may start out with that kind of initial hype wave and then they die off and then they balloon back up. EVE Online, I don't know if it started with a hype wave, but EVE Online ballooned. Final Fantasy 14. Those games didn't start out the most popular. Okay, so now I'm at the Crusader Outpost. I need to plot kind of an exit strategy here. If I need to get out, can I jump down? Looks like I can jump down and I can potentially run around mobs there. Yeah, they don't get, you know, you don't make a mega successful game, not in this current highly competitive, very like oversaturated market. You don't get that just from doing whatever. Doing the same old, same old, same old. People are tired of that. They want a game that's going to pull them in. They don't want to play WoW again for the 33rd time. If they did, they'd all be playing retail. I feel like that's a game that has tried to innovate, but hasn't really truly innovated. Okay, I need to watch out because these are respawning. So that means somebody killed these at one point. No rings so far. We may try a double pull here. We're going to sheep him. We're going to go for this guy. He's yelling. He's mad. She's mad. Is that a she? I can't tell. Yeah, it is. Who's this? Why are they coming up here? That's actually not good. Oh, wow. They're really respawning. Let's see if we can pull them over here. I just killed something over here, so something will respawn, but I have time. Good crit there. Surprising that WoW is not listed as an inspiration for Ashes. I wonder if it's almost one of those, like, it goes without saying. WoW has influenced virtually every MMO out there. And by virtue of that, EverQuest. And by virtue of that, MUDs. Have you ever played any MUDs, Skyless? I've played quite a few. I played one. I actually played the one that, the main guy didn't like WoW, so he avoided it. That's interesting. I still feel like the influence will still be there. I played the MUD that actually inspired, both the MUDs that inspired EverQuest. It was originally called, I think, Rivers of Mud was the original. And then at one point they split the player base in two and they made a PvP server and they made a PvE server. The PvE was called, what was it called? Starts with a T. I can't remember. And then the PvP one is the one I played more of. It was called Durus Mud. And they're both very interesting. And it's also really cool because if you get on there and you play uh, any class that you can play in EverQuest, if you play it on there, you're going to notice like the similarities, like the spells, the mechanics. For example, Magician on EverQuest is very similar to the Conjurer on Durus Mud. And I had no idea actually when I first started playing Durus Mud, and I made a comment in the general chat for the server. It was like, this game's a lot like EverQuest, and somebody was like, yeah, Brad McQuaid used to play here before, well, I clicked off of him, and now she's healed. He said, Brad McQuaid used to play here before he quit and went to play, create EverQuest. I thought that was really cool, because I had no idea. I was just there because it was a neat mud. I really enjoy one aspect of that mud, and that aspect is There are areas in that game that are like potentially have not been explored in 20 years. So when you go to some of these places and you're like deep in a dungeon, you're like, no one has probably ever. Oh goodness, you're in trouble, my friend. I'm gonna help you because I'm worried about you. There we go. Probably playing it a little too risky if you're all the way up there and you're almost dying, so I would say that person probably needs to head back here. Yeah, I used to go explore on there and I was like, man, there's no way like anybody's explored this zone in like 20 years. Like there's just nobody even really playing the game. I think most of the time there's like 10 people connected per faction, so you may have a total player base of 20 at any given time, maximum. But it's really cool. It's like playing EverQuest in text form. Like all of the same commands are there, you know, summoning your pets, giving them weapons, having them fight, having the nukes, having the invisibility spell for utility, like it's all there. It's a great mud. If you ever want to check out a mud, I recommend that, or the PvE one, which when I drink next, I'll look up the name of it. It's not Nanvain. That's one of the oldest muds out there. It is. It starts with a T. Toril mud. I didn't have to Google it. Toril. Toril. Toril mud has some issues though, or it did when I played. They did like a huge melee character revamp, and they made melee characters extremely powerful and modernized them. And meanwhile, the most of the rest of the classes of the game had not been touched in a very long time. So it was kind of like if you weren't playing a ranger or a warrior or a paladin or whatever the class was, you were kind of like playing an older version of the game. And then the rangers would just like absolutely destroy everything. And so what I started doing was I would just follow the rangers around and get experience off of them. And then like some of the older players on there were like, you're a leecher. I'm like, dude, there's like 8 people playing this game, man. Like, why are you being all elitist on me about this? Like, it's not like a EverQuest server where I can go and get a group and my character is really weak. And so that kind of put me off and I actually stopped playing because the community was not very friendly. Skyless Raven says, I didn't get into online games till about 2013 to 2014, which was mostly WoW. Interesting. I'm assuming you're either younger, much younger, or just had other interests. And when I say younger, much younger than me. Although I had exposure to online gaming very early. My my dad was worked for an ISP in like 1994, which was before most households had the internet. And we played on it was a service called Kali, and it would connect 2 computers together using IPX SPX, which was an older internet or network protocol, even older than TCP/IP, which is the standard protocol we use now. But you could connect to two computers could connect together, and it would act like you were on the same LAN together. And we would play a game called Descent, which was a 6 Degree of Freedom arena shooter. You were in like a little spaceship, and you could move in every direction. And it's like crazy to think. And we would play Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, multiplayer. Those were some good times. I'm gonna let this guy beat on me for a little bit. I need to get these defense levels up. I'm sitting at 48 of 55. That's not good. Other interests and a bit younger than you. Sorry, I don't know if I read that yet. Yeah, I've pretty much gamed my whole life, but there are times where it takes a backseat to other things more so than other times. Subscription games growing up were a big no-no. I totally empathize with that. I had the same thing. My dad was like, when I got EverQuest, I didn't realize it was a subscription game. Or maybe I did. Maybe my plan was just to like be like, Dad, let me use your credit card. But like I was working. I was making my own money, I think, at that point. So it was kind of like, hey, I just have cash. Can I give you cash and I'll pay my sub to you? And he was like, let me research this. And this is like a legitimate game made by Varen Interactive with like legitimate box art. It wasn't like I bought something at a swap meet and was like, look, get on this site and give him your credit card. And he still like took a couple days and was like, fine, I'll let you use my credit card. I'll go put it in for you. You just need to pay me, I think back then it was like $10 a month. Which is kind of crazy that sub games are now usually like 15 a month when there were $10 a month 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, and like $10 versus $15 adjusted for inflation. Um, Subs really haven't matched the pace with inflation, and I'm okay with that because I don't want to pay more than I do, especially whenever you look at the level of support you get on like some of these games. Like I'm not convinced that there's a whole lot of GM activity on this game. You see people botting, you see all the abuse, and you're like, is anybody looking? Like, is anybody actually monitoring this game? The answer is a few people, and mainly robots. And so it's like robots have to catch robots roboting. And who knows, maybe they're all in it together. Let's see what's up here. Can I pull you and will you run to me? And am I about to get myself killed because you go crazy and run through the entire area? No. Okay, good. But prior to EverQuest, I did play MUDs. MUDs were online. They were free, mostly free. There was a few like notable examples. Some of them were like almost abusive. I think Gemstone or yeah, Gemstone was one that charged like by the hour, which is just absolutely crazy to me. There's no way I would pay to play a game by the hour. But most of the MUDs back then were free. I also played Half-Life. I played Team Fortress Classic and Counter-Strike as far back as 1.3, which was a very different game. So there's two of these guys here. I do have the mana bar to take them, but what I don't want to have happen is something goes wrong and I need to get out of here and I end up having to deal with guys here. So we will just continue to play it safe. It's probably not the best spot to farm these rings, but it's also not the most dangerous spot. A lot of deaths tonight. A lot of player deaths. Those poor players. Sometimes when I look at it though, I'm like, what were they doing? Like what were they thinking? As I grow in levels, I will probably do less quests. And I'll probably do a lot of wiki sniping on quest chains to say, okay, I need this piece of gear. Where can I get this piece? Or fill this slot with a better piece. And check it out on the wiki before I go do any of it. Because there are a lot of quests in this game that are really like death traps. Whether they send you to a highly dangerous area, even though the character is or the quest level is lower, Yeah, the level 1 is well, it's a Warbank alt. He probably died on, well, he died to a model boar. I can't remember if those are red or if they're yellow. But it's possible he died trying to get his bank. Poor guy trying to get his bank alt to Orgrimmar. My preferred bank location is Thunderbluff because the auction house and the bank are very close for Horde side. But that's also the most dangerous path to run because there's a lot of KOS enemies that are much higher level. If I had to, or when I go to do it, I'll probably get my bank alt in Undercity because you can pretty much run the road and you don't have a lot of risk of dying. Where are you going, Zealot? You're not so zealous. Seen a lot of level 1s die just for attention. Could be. If I did that, I would put something in my last words that was like funny. Up to 7 of 10 rings. I need to pull this guy before these spawn. But I am going to wait for full mana. Just in case one spawns as I'm pulling. Nothing spawned. Perfectly safe. And I just have these two here. It looks like I've got some stuff I can go after over here that is single pulls. Ooh, that looks gnarly right there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. You can probably, yeah. Let's see. Okay, good. That was a little bit risky. I'm not sure if I should be happy that that went the way I wanted it to, or kind of disappointed that I made a risky pull. Did I see EverQuest was talking next expansion? I have, and I also saw that EverQuest was talking an actual potential sequel. Like a 2027, I think, sequel. Which I don't know, like, I'm such an old timer now when it comes to these games, and like, I'm just generally skeptical because I've just played so many bad games that I don't know if an EverQuest sequel would make it would make me happy. EverQuest 2 is kind of ah shoot. Okay. You're gonna bring it up as a separate topic. Got it. Yeah, sorry to steal your thunder. Yeah. The expansions, yeah, they're almost like on a yearly thing, and it's really I think it's kind of amazing what they do manage to do over at Daybreak with the amount of people that they have. Like I think I watched an interview one time and they were like, "Yeah, we do this with like 4 people." Like they have a maximum of 4 or maybe 5 people working on these expansions, and I'm like, that's crazy. That probably does diminish the quality to some degree, but if it's working for you guys, like, good for you. You go. This guy is offering bags for 2 silver apiece. And I need 1 more bag. I would have to probably go meet him. And I do like the idea of EverQuest 2. I thought it was like, it's really cool in theory because it does expand on a lot of the core mechanics. And there's a lot of like depth to that game. Almost maybe too much, like needless depth. But there is a lot to it. I remember I mean I was only like level 40 or something, and my character had buttons like all the way up to here, like full action bars, like six of them or five of them, which is pretty crazy. There's a ton of buffs. Like my shaman had like, you know, probably 10 different buffs. Ooh, somebody is killing these over here. Who's doing that? I'm okay with it. Only need one more ring. At war with the Scarlet Crusade. Oh, so I need one more ring, but he's asking if I want to do these other two named mobs. Or one named mob and then the missionaries, so... Ah, shoot, he got the loot on that one. You've played more EQ2 than one, wow. What's that like? Like, have you gone to the end game and raided? Because I've maybe watched a little YouTube, but I've never, like, experienced it. There's my last ring. Okay. I'm gonna try to drink before he pulls. Oh, and invite this hunter. That's cool. Okay. Okay, he got the sheep. So we have Captain Perrin. He LOS'd me. Need to be very careful nothing respawns behind us. Oh, this is Captain Vachin. He's not even the one I need. Oh, I'm on a different step. I need to be over here. Okay, so, but I did get all my rings. Skyless Raven says, no, I haven't raided, but I haven't made endgame yet. I keep restarting because I dropped the game and forget what I was doing. That is the worst feeling in a MMO when you... It's almost like, like that MMO decision point where you're like, I really want to replay this MMO. I haven't played it in a couple years. And then you get to the character select screen and you're like, okay, which one do I want to play? And you look at them and you're like, shoot. And then you log into the character that you're like, okay, I'm gonna play the warlock. He's awesome. I remember how much fun he was. And then you get on there and you look at like you've got all this stuff in your bags. And you've got all these buttons that you don't remember what any of them do. And you're like totally overwhelmed. And oh, by the way, they reset all your talents or your progression tree, or they're like, they made some drastic change to something at some point, and you're like, stuff doesn't work the way you remembered it. And it's like super intimidating. And then, I mean, I'll be honest, sometimes I just like look at it and I'm like, I'm logging out. Like, I can't do this. And then other times I'm like, no, I'm going to restart from one. And then you realize or remember how many hours you spent grinding to get to like whatever level X that you were, which is still not even close to the max. And you're like, oh, and yeah, feels bad, man. Exactly. Like you're just like, oh, I don't know. And then you go back to some other game that you've already been playing or that's easier to start on, or you muscle through it and you get on that level 60 character, max level character that you have, and you die a bunch. You don't want to go to a dungeon because you don't want to be that guy who doesn't know what they're doing. Yeah, it all kind of compounds into like a not good experience. Especially when your bags are. I don't know why the bags are what get me. Like when I log into a character I haven't played in forever, and I'm like, open this up, and I'm like, and it's never as simple as this, right? Like, oh, I just need to vendor this and vendor this. I can trade skill this. Like, it's always like, you've got three of five of one quest item, and you have no idea where to go to get the other two, and then like, you've got like this thing that's like, use this at the altar of Zin to gain the retribution of Aura, and you're like, what? Like, I don't know where that is. I wonder if some of these would sell. Ooh, Tramgal. Level 23 Hunter died to spiders. Undead Warlock died in Thousand Needles, and it does not say how. I'm wondering if they fell off something. This one died in Ashenvale to a Shade Thicket Wood Shaper. I'm trying to remember what that is. Son of Argal, that's a common one. Stay safe is his last words. Rip. I was gonna vendor these. Yeah, that was 650 experience and 3 silver there. We got one more here in Brill. I could potentially go up now. I mean, I'm level 11. I might be able to handle the Murlocs up here. Definitely not doing Family Crypt anytime soon. That's a tough quest. I don't really want to run all the way out here to get the Vilefin Murlocs. Or I've got the At War with the Scarlet Crusade down there. So, yeah. Okay. I think this is in the town hall. Oh no, it's right here. What the heck? That was weird. 9 armor gloves, that's an upgrade. So I'm like halfway to 12. At some point I'll head on down to... Oh, I don't know. I need to plot my leveling path here. Do I go to Silverpine? The Barrens, like, you know, normal leveling path, right, is on Horde is like you hit 10 and you go straight beeline to the Barrens because there's the most quests. But man, some of those Barrens quests are hard. And on hardcore, I don't know if they're wise. What to do. So I'm debating on even, like, do I start Barrens at like 14, where most of the early quests are going to be level, or maybe 13, where they're going to be like level 9s and 10s? I'll be honest, I don't see a lot of people die in the Barrens. Like, most of the deaths that I'm seeing are your basic newbie zones. And then Stone Talon seems to be pretty dangerous. Thousand Needles seems to be pretty dangerous. Those are post Baron zones, though. Like, you do that after. I've died so many times in Barons that I try to avoid it as long as possible. I've definitely died there a lot, but there's some good things about the Barons. But there are some quests that I definitely won't do. At least not till I'm way over leveled. One of them is like the Venture Co mining areas, whether it's that emerald you got to get in that cave. Like, caves are no good. There's an escort quest in the Venture Co area, one of the Venture Co like mining areas. There's the one that you have to turn off, like, or hit the steam vents or whatever on the one thing. Like, you got to click like 3 things around one of their little machines, and the respawn rate is really high in that area. The open world grinding quests maybe good to do, like, you know, go collect plain strider meat or strider meat. Um, I think there's one for like killing tigers. Okay, we need to be careful here. We're just gonna peek. We're gonna peek over this hill. So there's a lot of Murlocs here, and they're actually not that grouped up. I need to be aware that they're gonna run, and they do tend to kind of path close to each other. But as long as I keep an eye on them and I have a nice safe run back, I'll be okay. The drop rate on this quest is really low. So I'll probably get a little bit of experience just by grinding here. These are also greens, so I can take advantage of this to try to level my defense. But what I gotta be careful of is when they run. Yummy Murloc flesh. Kind of breaking my own rule here, because I think when I started I said on stream, or at least I said it in my head, like, I'm never doing Murlocs. This doesn't look too bad. Down there, down here, that doesn't look good. Like this, that's not where I'm gonna go. We'll do these. We'll do the guys that are out here. They're wandering around. They're single pulls. They're basically making themselves targets, and then just making sure that we don't pull too close to these areas where they can run and potentially gather up a bunch of Murlocs. I'm gonna have to tell Sam that his music tracks are perfect for streaming. Perfect for the vibe that I'm going for on this stream. I'm not sure if he sells these beats, like if he's got people that rap over them. Okay, this is starting to look a little bit more congested, and he's going to be a caster, so I'm going to leave him alone. Once in a while, it's fun to go through the death logs and actually look at the statistics, too, and see, like, statistically, when do most people die based on their class. That's always fun to see. Yeah, see, these two are kind of close now. Here we go. Oh, he's a muck dweller. I thought he was an oracle. Ah, shoot. Didn't want to mess with him with a half a mana bar. I like Silverpine for nostalgia, but I don't for a hardcore. There's like, I feel like I've died there a lot, just naturally playing the game. So I don't know if it's the best idea for a hardcore. I don't know. I feel like that it doesn't really matter where I go next. It's gonna be more dangerous, obviously, like as you level. It would be nice if I had a little bit more armor. I'm really rocking like just grays and just junk armor. I may look into some tailoring to help kind of fill in the gaps here. There's a 10 armor cloak. That's an upgrade. Ask and you shall receive. There seems to be a lower concentration of casters over on this side. I just need to be aware of what's behind me. I don't want to have a bunch of respawns behind me, have something go wrong all the way up here, have to run out, and then realize that I'm in big trouble. It's another muck dweller. Resist is not good. It's some sort of level 4 axe. I don't think that's probably going to be worth vendoring. Or, sorry, but not vendoring, auctioning. This guy has level 1 died in Durotar. His journey was short. He will sadly not be remembered. That's an oracle. So I'm going to stick to the other side here. There's two of them grouped up right there. Glad the stream is running at 60 frames. Hopefully when I get the green screen and I apply the green screen effect, it still runs at 60 frames. It is a good steady 60 frames too. We're going to go for the pull here, and if this guy comes, we will... Oh shoot, that might be a double pull. Yep, it is. We're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, we're going to MP5 it. We're going to get some MP5 going. And then when he pops out, we'll shoot him. There we go. They do a decent amount of damage. Ooh, there's a green sword. That might auction. And I'm sitting at 4 or 5 Balefin scales, so we're almost done. And we don't have to mess with Murlocs. No scale. These Voidwalker minions, those get a lot of people. I'm trying to think where I think there's a cave. I think there's a cave in Durotar for the Twilight Hammer cult that has those Voidwalkers. There's my last scale. Church of Beef. He died to Arachia in Mulgore, and they died to Gazuz. I think that's another guy that's in that cave. So now navigating safely back to the road will be the next challenge here. But we'll just take it slow and we'll just pull mobs that we see. That has the added benefit of ooh, somebody just died to a Murloc. Was it this person over here? No. I saw somebody over there fighting and was like, saw him fighting an Oracle. I can't think of any other real options. Silver Pine or the Barrens are, I think, the only options that I have at level for the next zone. But the truth is, I will probably just find a nice safe spot to start grinding it out here soon, and quests will no longer be the focus. Which I understand is not the most engaging stream content. But it is the most not dying stream content. Which I mean, I think that's what people come to see. Like, they want us not, no, nobody's really coming here, but if people were to come here, they'd come here to see me die. Do what you need to do in order to survive, precisely. I don't feel good about doing dungeons because you are placing your safety and your characters, your investment in your character in going or into other people's hands. I'm here to talk MMOs. Yeah, me too, for sure. Prior to subbing this, I came very close to subbing Eve. But every time I start Eve again, it kind of goes the same way. I like get really, really interested in it for like a day or two, and then the will to like log in just goes away. And then I end up doing this thing where I'm just logging in to do the training queue because in Eve you get skill points, you level your character offline, well, like online or offline, doesn't matter, it's a fixed rate. And then you end up in this like limbo where you're like, ah, I really want to get the next drone or I really want to fit the next cannon, so I gotta wait 3 weeks for that. I just, ooh, level 39 died Desolus to a centaur. One thing I do enjoy on Eve though is like the salvaging. I don't know why. I love like killing all the pirates. So there's like asteroid belts, and then you can go to the asteroid belts, and there are pirates, like pirate ships, and you kill them, and then you can salvage the wreckage, and you get a bunch of like kind of like junk items that you just sell. And the economy is actually like really really neat on that game. And this place, you make so much more money in this place. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick break, and when I get back, we'll look for another quest to do. I'll be right back. Okay. Had to make some adjustments to the temperature in here. It was quite cold. It's starting to cool off here. Finally getting cold. Put on a long sleeve shirt. No, I'm not joining your leveling guild. Sold some auctions though. Mostly I hear the horror stories and go, not for me. Yeah, there's Eve is one for there's many stories. Many stories in Eve. Like over here there's some spiders, and down here is the Scarlet Crusade. There's the one where the guy like ran a long con on uh what are they? Corp, not a guild. They're called corporations. Same as a guild. And he ran the long con on them for like a year, and then got access to all their, I don't know, funds or whatever, and ripped them off. There was massive, a massive battle at one point that I think was when you converted the money into like the in-game money into the like RuneScape bonds. Basically, you can buy and sell these things for in-game subscription time. When they converted that into like US dollars, it was like $100,000 or something crazy worth of ships were destroyed. Or there was one where I think a guy got ganked in call it high security space, which is basically non PvP zones. If you start to PvP, uh, the guard ships are gonna show up and nuke you. But they managed to pull off a gank on a guy and destroy like a $30,000 ship or something crazy. Maybe it was 3,000. I can't remember. The numbers kind of escape me, but it's kind of interesting. Eve's an interesting game, but the gameplay is very dry. It's a spreadsheet simulator. Although it is cool to me that you could potentially become like a very rich player on there just by playing the stock market. So we have a level 9 and we have another level 9. And the problem is I don't know when these guys are going to respawn. If they respawn on me, I'm going to be in trouble. But the longer I wait, the worse it's going to be. Right now I've got a free and clear shot at Captain Perrin. We're going to take care of you. I want a Frost Nova, but it's just going to cost more mana. I'm watching behind me. They're starting to respawn. That's not good. So I'm just going to get my stuff. I'm going to run back. Get my kill. Then we really don't need to deal with this guy. But we have the mana to do it, so we'll take care of him. Need to watch and make sure nothing else spawns on top of me. It's kind of like Enchanter in EverQuest. As you get lower in mana, which yeah, that was really close. Actually, you look at it, less than 50% health. I need to kill missionaries. They're killing one right now. It's okay. Or I'm back. The internet cut out and then had an ad. I'm sorry. Yeah, the ads. I think they're kind of just part of Twitch. I don't think I can even turn them off if I wanted to. It's okay. I took a quick break and I turned the air conditioning off because it was starting to get really cold. I threw on a long sleeve shirt. I'm just very grateful that my streaming room here that I'm in right now, even though you can see it's kind of not super cluttered, but there's some stuff behind me. My streaming room is actually working out. Like I moved everything in here, and I put tint on the windows behind me so that it stays cooler during the day. I bought a like $400 swamp cooler and really invested in getting this room up and running. I was streaming in my bedroom and was running into issues because there was times where like my girlfriend would be ready for bed, but I'm trying to live stream. And just out of respect for her. That's not ideal, right? Like you don't want to be trying to sleep and have somebody next to you going like, "Oh, look over here. There's a murloc. I gotta kill him." Nobody wants to hear that. So I pulled the trigger and made about, I don't know, $600 worth of purchases in a couple days and got this room up and running, but it's worth it. Uh-oh. It's just a lowly green level 7. Someone trying to sleep and you hear a "let's go." Yeah. No, so it was like and like so she would come home from work and she would be like, "I'm gonna shower," but I've got like a webcam pointed right at the bathroom door. Like it's just not it was not working out for us. So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna move my stuff into this other room." And the first thing I did was I just bought like a big fan. And the fan was like really loud. And even though online was like, yes, very quiet fan, but I'm like, yeah, but how quiet? Because I can't just expect it to be like super quiet. I'm gonna help this person because they look like they're in trouble. I'm gonna invite them so they can get credit for this kill. Apparently they don't want it. There you go, sir. And how about you have some free waters on me? Be safe. That'll be my last words when I die. Why are they canceling the trade? I'm trying to give you water. Whatever. So anyway, I got the fan in here and it was like so loud and you could hear it through the mics and there was like this whistling sound in the mic and if you hear a whistling now, let me know. I can play with the noise gating and the noise filters because my laptop has really loud fans, but I'm actually part of the reason why I'm using this headset mic and not the Yeti mic I have over here is because this mic blocks all that noise so much better than the Yeti. And so, even though it's kind of like annoying and ugly to have this thing in front of my face, I would rather have that than, and it sounds a little bit worse. It's actually not terrible. And I would rather have that than every time I open my mouth to say something, you hear this like hiss. Because if you go back on my Twitch VODs and you watch like some older streams, you're going to hear like as I talk, there's like a hiss. And then as soon as I stop talking and the noise gate kicks back in, the hiss goes away. And it's, to me, is like very disruptive. It's almost as if when you listen to somebody speak and they say the word over and over, and eventually you hear all you hear is. Kind of felt like that was what was going on with the hissing. I like all I could hear was the hissing when I would go like rewatch my VODs. I was like, that can't be. I can't. Like that's got to be annoying. Even though I'm a small streamer, I'm all about quality. People should come to a stream and expect a certain level of quality, which is why I've got my frame rate capped at 60. I think I've got the music adjusted properly. Much rather people come here and they know what to expect. Looks good, it sounds good. We all have a good time. We talk about MMOs. Oh wow, what's going on here? I got pulled the whole thing. Need one more missionary. Actually, I don't need any more missionaries. What am I doing? Okay. But yeah, I almost resubbed to Eve. And then I almost resubbed and just played Era, like classic Era servers. But I figured, no thanks. I'll try the hardcore thing. If I get high enough and I die, I'll probably just move over to the era servers with the character and just continue to play on era versus trying another hardcore. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not super in love with this, but it's like I get bit by the WoW bug, all the time, and it's scratching the itch. I do miss raiding. I don't think I'll raid on here, but I do miss raiding. I don't miss getting world buffs. It was like a different lifestyle back then. Like I would be like, oh, I gotta get home. I gotta get logged in and get these world buffs. Like I had a character on one screen watching for the buff timer, and then as soon as it would go out, I'd log in on the other character and get the buff. And then I had 3 accounts, 4 accounts, one for each, like the summoner and then the 2 clickers, and I could summon myself to all the world buffs. I was really sweaty. That's pretty sweaty. Oh no, Smarf the Orc Warrior has perished. Level 22 to a Syndicate Mage up in the Hillsbrad foothills. I think those are close to um, Heron Mill. I kind of wish they put the hardcore option in retail. Also, then maybe it would make it refreshing to play again. I totally agree. I would totally play an actual like standard hardcore on retail with it actually being like supported or whatever. You can do it like you said earlier. I think you said you did a hardcore self-imposed. But I don't know. There's like something about the legitimacy of like when I click this button, this character dies. It's over. Level 19 died to Murlocs in Silverpine. What warrior deaths. I have. Oh, I didn't know that was gonna be. I thought this was all instrumental. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. You can go tell Twitch and I'll get banned. I think it'll be okay. Ooh, level 48. Overlord Mockmorok. Where, where's he? I don't know if I remember that. Here we go. Okay, he's up here. The level 45. Oh, you have like a quest where you gotta challenge him, and there's some weapon rewards, which are always good for uh, melee and shamans. Then you can get some leather boots, 9 strength, 9 stam. Those are decent-ish leveling stats. That's what he died to, Bruzzy Bruxawiff. That's unfortunate. Level 48 is a long way to go. I'll bet he wishes that he was just grinding on turtles somewhere right now. No pain, no gain, I guess. Okay, now I have two quests over here on this side. I don't think they would ban you for the music if you have permission. Yeah, there was a word that I think in this context is not um extremely frowned upon, but is somewhat. As soon as I heard it, I was like, we're gonna change this. I thought Sam made all instrumental, so when I heard that, I was like, oh, well, and that's not really the vibe I'm going for. I like this. I like this style. I'll have to let him know though that the music's working out. See, we had a 32 rogue ripped. A level 26 priest, and their last words were some sort of expletive. And a level 10 mage died to harpies and Durotalk. It's all good. Uh, it's it's all good. As soon as I heard it, I was like, up, time to change it. I actually don't really like streaming to music with words for the most part. I like kind of more like this lo-fi type stuff. Chill step, and I'll do classic trance. Once in a while, I'll throw on some like Modest Mouse. I did do was it Steve Harwell was his name, the Smash Mouth singer? I did a Steve Harwell tribute stream when the Smash Mouth singer passed away, unfortunately. He was a victim of addiction. He lost a child younger in his younger years. I think he was in his 20s. He lost a child, and he kind of spiraled from there, and then unfortunately drank himself to death. Which is where now I will plug the fundraiser that I have on my stream. Feel free or don't take a look. But I too have suffered. Have not drank in years. And I support anybody who wishes to quit. It is as detrimental to their life as it was for me. Used to stream with Spotify in the background, then it would mess up my playlist. I like my death metal music uninterrupted. I've started to dabble in metal music during my workouts, and one band that I've kind of keyed in on is called Mastodon. I like them because they're a little bit melodic still, without as much like grunting and thrashiness. They kind of remind me of like a prog rock band to a degree. Speaking of prog rock, there's a YouTube album out there called Ocarina of Time Soundtrack, but if it was a prog rock album, and I listened to it and just immediately fell in love. It's just great. They are good. I approve. Yeah, I really like them. I need to start kind of seeing what Spotify will suggest to me with that band. I'm obviously, not obviously, but I am still a fan of like old school Metallica. I'll put that on when I'm working out. I like a genre called melodic hardcore, which is like sort of hardcore punk, but with a little bit more melody. Not quite emo, not like, you know, not as much of the, screamy sadness, but still hardcore with a little bit more melodic, typically like choruses. Let's see if he pulls anybody else. We need to keep an eye on this. Just gonna get out here. So unfortunately, I came here and got some help with some people for this quest and wasn't actually on this leg of the quest. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna clear a safety path off to the left here. That way, if I need to bug out, I can bug out. I would recommend Lorna Shore Pain Remains album. They don't have cleans, but I vibe with the lyrics. I do really like when the lyrics get me, and I feel like they mean something to me. That's typically when I connect with music the most. Especially when I'm in the middle of a very intense workout. I will be brought nearly to tears by some lyrics when I'm running at like a 630 mile pace and just absolutely gutting it out. Then the music hits and you're just like, this is just freaking great. Saturday I will be up on a mountain running at high elevation. Start training my body for an event that I'm doing in 3 months. My knees have not been agreeing with me lately. I've had to limit my durations of my workouts. But luckily, I've still gotten significant enough intensity on a few of my sprint workouts to where I feel like I'm still making good progress. So the plan for bugging out is to run down there. Ooh, Axolot, level 41. He died to a Bloodsail Raider. I know precisely what he was doing. Yeah, that's like right at a level 40 quest, the Bloodsails. He was probably trying to get to the map, most likely. I think that's where the map is, somewhere in there. Or he might have been out on the beach. The Bloodsails, that's a dangerous spot. Pain Remains trilogy songs are about losing the one you love the most or something you loved. Uh-oh. Get sheeped. This is not good. The sheep is good. And if I can get this guy down, which I did, I can run over here and I can MP5 it a little while. I can either bandage or eat. I'm going to choose to eat first because that leaves my bandage open for later. We're going to continue to eat until he gets up on me. And hopefully I have the mana to finish him off. I don't know where he came from. This is still, shoot, yep, this is still not good. So we are going to bug out early because running early is important. And now the challenge is just making sure I don't run into anything else that's going to kill me on my way out of this area. And we're going to make for the road. This is not ideal. Is he going to leash? Leashed. Yeah, that's probably the first time I've actually gotten into more or less danger on this character. Thought he aggroed. Well, I know a thing or two about losing ones I love. Being betrayed by them as well. That may resonate with me. Okay. Now we need to kill Captain Vashon. I don't see anybody. Oh, wait, there's one prior. Ah, we're getting respawns, though. It's maybe one of those things where I end up fighting respawns for so long I never actually get to kill the quest mob. Defense just leveled to 52. We definitely need to be at full mana, and I don't want to have respawns in the middle of it. Good news is we've already exercised our bug out plan once, and it was successful. All right, one last look back, and we're going to go for it. We're going to pull all the way back here. He is level 11. I'm kind of nervous. Oh, the resist. Oh, the bash. Uh, Not good. I don't know. I don't want to continue to fight him because he just got all his health back. Lone Shore is more deathcore in case you're picky. I'm actually not picky. I don't know the difference. I couldn't listen to two metal songs and go, "Oh, that's deathcore." I can do that with oh shoot. I can do that with like emo, I can do that with like punk and hardcore, but I metal is kind of uncharted waters for me. There we go, good. I needed you to die. Can I eat you? I cannot. Somebody else did run up there. I'm gonna try to get back there. We may be able to group up on Captain Jerkhead up there. I don't get attacked. Nasty bat. Let's say I know a fair bit about a lot of different genres of music, though. I used to spend a lot of time on a website called All Music, and All Music used to kind of like a music encyclopedia. Slaken, do you want to like do this together? No? Maybe one of those things where I hit level 12 and then I just come back with better spells. Excuse me. I can give you a lot of metal suggestions, but I think it'd be better discovering your own taste. Yeah, I'll go. I mean, it's spend a lot of hours listening to music because of how much time I spend in the gym running. How about this? I'll let Spotify kind of run the show and then I'll report back to you the results. He killed him. Killed him. Might be able to snipe him out of there when he respawns. Named mobs tend to respawn kind of quickly. He respawned with his buddy. Let's see, Force Lake, and you want to do this together? Get a moon. You get a skull. Now we nuke. There we go. What else? Vicious spider venom. Here we go. Yeah, this is a good example here. So that's the first Baron's death I think I've seen all night, and it's on the Venture Coves. Those things are nasty. Stylish Raven says, sounds good. I would really recommend either Angel Maker or Lorna Shore if you want to jump off the deep end. That is me, more or less. I usually just jump right in. Although with one band, one of my favorite bands of all time is brand new. I bought their entire discography on Amazon. And I think I tried listening to their newest album first, and their sound evolved to cool, like they're almost indistinguishable. They are indistinguishable from when they started to where they finished. And at first I was like, I don't like this. This is weird. And so I listened to their like more pop punk emo album for a while, and then I gradually got into like their second album where they basically got like kind of a bad review on the first album where it was like, hey, this is like uh just generic pop punk emo, and they it really bothered the singer, so he really started to experiment on the second album, and then the third album especially, like they go very different, and then by the fourth album, it's like I don't even know what genre this is. They're almost one of those bands where you don't can't really put them in a genre outside of like it's rock. It's like 4/4 120 beats per minute rock with guitars, but like just the weirdness, the sound effects, not really sound effects, but like the noise, the amount of noise in the tracks. Definitely one of my favorites. I really wish they were still together. I won't discuss on stream why they're not together. You can do your own research there. Whitechapel has some easy on the ears songs for a deathcore band. Nice. So Angel Maker, Lorna Shore, and Whitechapel. XQ Cow's last words were, "You done?" They were probably helping someone with a quest. Bless this warrior out here, 1v1ing mobs. I don't know if I have the patience to do a warrior hardcore. I barely had the patience to level my warrior in vanilla WoW as it was, and I did it with another person. I exclusively grouped with my first wife, who I've mentioned on stream before. She played a druid, and so the druid warrior combo was pretty good. Not the best combo, I think. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. What would you rather pair with a warrior? A druid, a shaman, for alliance? We didn't have shaman. Paladin or a priest? All of those have heals. Now it's time to head back. One thing I'm really liking about this is normally by now I'm like going, oh, I wish I had my mount, but for some reason the slow pace of hardcore I've kind of adapted to. Either priest or paladin. Priests are really good, especially if the priest you're grouping with in like a duo leveling situation, if they understand how to get in and out of shadow form quickly, and some people that's like a major hurdle. Like I played a lot with my second wife as well, and that was a big hurdle for her to get over, was like being able to quickly swap in and out of shadow form and be able to heal before somebody dies. Druid is my last choice for anything because HOTS is not my kind of healing. It is probably an acquired taste. Druids are very strange in Classic. They weren't quite finished, I think. They may have been finished in the eyes of the developers at the time, but obviously the changes that we saw, the changes that made Druid more viable in EBC and obviously Wrath, I think kind of rounded the class out. They're a neat class in Classic, though. I will definitely play one at some point. We lost a level 50 in Tenaris to a Thistle Shrub Root Shaper. That's unfortunate. That's actually not that dangerous of an area. I know precisely where that is, in the southwest corner of the zone. And I would not have any reservation going there to do a quest or to grind. But they do root, and that may have been causal to their death. I tried doing Shaman Healer uh, as a level 60 Shaman on Turtle WoW, and I didn't particularly enjoy it. When you think of a paladin game design, is it a tank or a cleric first? In WoW Classic, I would say it is definitely more on the lines of a cleric because of the lack of taunt, which I feel is, or at least a snap aggro spell. Like if you go to kind of EverQuest terms like Shadow Knights, I don't remember if they have taunt or not, but it doesn't matter because they've got Disease Cloud. And the fact that they have no taunt makes me think they were never. I don't know if they were. I mean, they have a prot tree. It's really weird to me that they decided to do that. Like, give them a prot tree, but no taunt. In any game, well, I guess in D&D, I would consider them more of a tankier uh, class. At least in my experience playing like Icewind Dale, I always have my paladin up front, and my clerics are usually using ranged in the back. I always make sure all my characters have ranged because there's so many encounters in that game that you can just sling stones and arrows at things for a while and kill almost everything before it gets to you. What's up with this guy? Oh, that's their hair. I was like, what is that on their head? Let's see. I think I need to go upstairs for this one. Now is a good time to get my level 12 spells. Get a new rank of Conjure Food. I don't know if I need Dampen Magic. I'm going to get Slow Fall because it might save my ass. I just need to get Feathers. I don't use Fireball. 53 to 73. Significant upgrade on my Fireball damage. Frost. Got a new Frostbolt at level 14. Debating on is it worth it? I will consult the wiki. What does the wiki think? It usually tells you what spells are worth getting. Oh, it says make sure to grab it even if you build opposite talents for mobs that are resistant. That is a good idea. I would hate to get somewhere and be like, why don't I have a better fireball? I want slow fall on something I can like easily hit in a oh shit situation. Kind of a lackluster spell level. I think if I remember right, 14 is a big one. 14 I remember being very pleased. Train journeyman first day, but I'm not getting wool cloth right now, so there's really no point in spending the money. Because when I think of a paladin in lore, I think of a super buff cleric that has a ranking to pass judgments, so I think it would be a tank second. Interesting. Well, one of the beauties of, at least in D&D, is you can kind of build them how you want. Like you can give a paladin, I think, a crossbow. You could have him be at range, doing buffs, doing uh, lay on hands, doing turn undead. Turn undead is great. Icewind Dale, you use that a lot. Kind of annoying because everything starts to like run away. Oops, I forgot to turn this in. But it keeps you safe. Lazy shot, the troll hunter died. His last words were just let the Voidwalker do the hard stuff. For what he was talking about. Was he in a group? How come I'm failing at finding this quest? He down in the basement? This basement, bad things happen down here. Oh yeah, we're gonna give him the drink that poisons him. Cheers to you, no good scoundrel. Ugh. And he dies. I always thought these were like kind of disturbing quests. Like the tainted pumpkin that you give the scarlet guy. All that's happening is like people are up here drinking and eat. Oh, I guess they're not eating. That's an interesting lore touch because you notice there's like no food. But at the same time, you can eat food as an undead, so that's kind of weird. I'm running out of quests in this zone. I'll head down and turn in the Undercity quests that I have, auction some things, see where that takes me. If I need to, I may go grind on cloth. Go grind something that gives me cloth, get to 13. Level tailoring. Alternatively, I could go grab blacksmithing and engineering, completely forego the tailoring. Engineering is obviously the best in slot for a hardcore character because it gives you a stun. Stun grenades will save you. You're level 40, have a rank 1 arcane intellect that raises your intellect by 2. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Level 41 lost to a Woodpaw Mystic. I think that's an area I would probably avoid. Most of Fairloss is not a safe place. I can think of a lot of places in Fairloss that would be very easy to die in. The ogres, the woodpaws. Those are always very tightly grouped. They run. Even just kind of getting to and from those spots, there's a lot of roaming, like red cons, whether it's the chimeras or the bears. So I can say I probably wouldn't have gone there. Unless I significantly outleveled them. And with them being 41, I don't think they outleveled them. That was probably even conned at the best. What do you think is the most interesting class in Ashes of Creation? There is no training swords of the tiger up for me to compare. Or a handful. Oh wait, there is. That's strange. Yeah. 5 silver. It vendors for 3. And it takes a 180 Oh, I know something I haven't done. I never mapped. Shoot. Of what has been shown or in general? Both. Whichever. Post these stringy wolf meats. These are a decent little money maker, even if they're not that much. This one's only going for 175. It might sell. 80 bat wings. These did not sell last time. I don't know if there's no recipe. Yeah, I've still got a bunch up on auction. I'm just gonna go ahead and vendor this. Small venom sacks. That's not bad. That'll probably sell. Well, spider leg is probably just nothing. Yep. Vendor. Slumber sand. This is I'll put it over here. And I have a healing potion now that I've neglected to put on my bar. So I like doing shift mouse wheel down for a healing potion because you can't accidentally really do that. The one that has my interest is Summoner, but that class is still being developed. I love, like, is it a pet class? I love pet classes. Diablo 2, I loved. I don't really play him anymore. I loved the Necromancer, the Summon Necromancer. I like the Warlock. I like the Hunter. And WoW. I like the Mage, obviously, in EverQuest. It is a pet class. That's interesting. I like pet classes in games where it like actually matters. So like Final Fantasy 14, I think is like one of those things where yeah, there's pet classes, but like everything dies kind of at the same rate, and I don't know, in 14 you don't seem to really get a lot of utility out of your pets. What I saw, at least from the time I did play Summoner in FF14. That was a long time ago, though. Zombies, spirits, and other things, there's not a lot known besides the basic info. Ooh, level 57. Ouch. He died in. Might have been Skolo. It doesn't say what he died to, but it looked like Skolo. Ooh, here I get a. Uh, that's probably. I'd probably take the staff because it's 30-minute cooldown. It's like a mana pot. Anyway, I have to do the quest before I can get it. I don't even know where you go to do that quest. Is that a Silver Pine? Ton of quests in Silver Pine. Oh no, you go up here. It's farm. I also kind of like games that have unique tech mechanics. So instead of just being the straight up standard summon it, it fights for you. If it dies, you summon a new one. I kind of like Enchanter. That's really cool how you charm enemies to fight for you. It's dangerous, but it's fun. More powerful than a mage pet. Stuff like that is cool. And level 57, that hurts. That character's probably been in the game since they first launched Classic, I'm gonna assume, if they weren't just absolutely going crazy hard on the leveling, but such a long way to go to lose them. Depending on what your summon is, either a tank, support, or DPS. Yeah. Kind of like a Warlock. Warlocks are like that. But this is a perfect time for me to call it quits for the night. And thanks, Skyless Raven, for joining again. It's always a pleasure keeping me company. Hopefully, get some more people in here eventually, but start slow.